ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
24th श्लोक, sorry 25th। दैवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेनैवोपजुह्वति श्रोत्रादीनीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्वति शब्दादीन् विषयानन्ये Indriyagnishu juhvati.
इन्द्रियाग्निषु जुह्वति
Sarvani indriyakarbani.
सर्वाणीन्द्रियकर्माणि
Pranakarmani chapare.
प्राणकर्माणि चापरे
Atma samyama yogagno.
आत्मसंयमयोगाग्नौ
Juhvati jnanadipite.
जुह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते
Dravyayajnastapo yajnaha.
द्रव्ययज्ञास्तपो यज्ञाः
Yogayajnastatha pare.
योगयज्ञास्तथा परे
Swadhyaya jnana yajnascha.
स्वाध्यायज्ञानयज्ञाश्च
Yatayas samshita vrata.
यतयः संशितव्रताः
Apane juhvati pranam.
अपाने जुह्वति प्राणम्
Prane panam tatha pare.
प्राणे पानं तथा परे
Pranapanagati ruddhva.
प्राणापानगतिरुद्ध्वा
Pranayama parayanaha.
प्राणायामपरायणाः
Apare niyataharaha.
अपरे नियताहाराः
Pranan praneshu juhvati.
प्राणान् प्राणेषु जुह्वति
Sarvepyete yajnavidaha.
सर्वेऽप्येते यज्ञविदः
Yajna kshapita kalmashaha.
यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः
This chapter named Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, because of the shloka from 18th to 24, it is named, we saw in the last class. The chapter is devoted to Atma Darshanam, Sarvatra Atma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam. The intention is to gain the vision of Brahmatma. That Brahma, the Atma, which is seeing that everywhere. That is Jnanam. Jnanam is the vision of Brahma. Brahma Darshanam, Atma Darshanam. That is Jnanam. And that Jnanam is gained through Karma, Karma Yogena. Karma Yoga is Sakshat Karanam. For Jnanam, since certain preparatory disciplines are required, and those are called Karma. And the Karma is presented here as Yajna. So Yajna becomes the sadhana, the disciplines for the Chitta Shuddhi, which helps in gaining the vision. The vision what we have now is a blurred vision. It is not a clear vision. It's an obscured vision because of avidya. Avidya nivrittihi katam bhavati jnanena. So avidya nivrityartam. Then for avidya nivrityartam only shastram is. But for that avidya nivritti, just by reading shastram also, just by listening to shastram also doesn't happen. Unless a person has, unless the person is not ready, if the person, the pramata has got dosha, has got defects. Defect in the sense of not having shama, dama, viveka, vairagya. Those are the defects. And those do not have this, they are called anadhikari. So everybody begins with anadhikaritvam. So adhikaritvam is a growing thing. It's a growing thing. As you grow, you become, as you study, as you listen to Shastram, you grow more and more. As you listen to Shastram, as you follow what the Shastram says. Both. Not just a study of the Shastram and following. For the study of the Shastram, certain disciplines to be followed. Those disciplines, otherwise called sadhanani in Sanskritam, they are called yajna. And that is what in the previous chapter defined as karma, karma yoga. So whether it is karma yoga or yajna yoga, karma yajna, yajna karma, all are same. Here the word what Bhagavan Krishna uses instead of the word karma is yajna. Karma is the means, discipline, sadhanam, parampara sadhanam for jnana prapti. Here the Bhagavan Krishna uses the word yajnam, yajna karma. So this yajna as a karma, karma yoga, prepares a person for gaining the vision. The vision is Sarvatra Brahma Darshanam. Therefore, this yajna karma, the yajna becomes the sadhanani. There are many sadhananis prescribed, defined, given here. Anything or all, one or more or all, a person can follow. Ultimately, for gaining what? For gaining Brahma Darshanam, Atma Darshanam. So, why the word yajna if it is used? That we saw. Yajna is a Vaidika Shabda. Yajna means a ritual which involves Agni. Agni is the Pavakaha, it's a purifier. So karma purifies. Karma purifies. Purifies what? Purifies your chitta, raga, dvesha. These are the mala, these are the dosha, which the karma purifies. Since karma purifies, and the means by which purifications are done, they are referred to by the word yajna, the Vedika word. So, yajna doesn't mean literally there is Agni. Every action can be looked upon as an yajna. Every action, a karma yogi should look upon as yajna. A karma yogi should look upon every karma as the means, as a means for gaining Brahma. So, when that commitment is there, then every karma becomes an yajna. Every karma becomes a yaga. It's a homa. What you eat, that also becomes a yajna. What you smell becomes a yajna. When you transact with the world, that also becomes a yajna. So when yajna, when yajna, the word is used, you have a reverential attitude. You have a reverential attitude for the word yajna. Why? Because the yajna, the Vedika karma, which is performed in the Yagashala, that you perform in the open world. That you perform in the open world without any Agni. It is a sadhanam meant for you, the karma yogi. It is a sadhanam meant for the karma yogi, you, the karma yogi, it is meant for gaining the darshanam, Brahma darshanam. Therefore, there is any karma you do, there is a reverence. There is reverence. There is a sacred attitude, the attitude towards the karma, whatever may be the karma, in terms of the understanding, the attitude, the effort, there is a reverence. That is a reverence. That is why this karma is looked upon as Ishvara Aradhana. Karma is looked upon as Ishvara Aradhana. Not only the physical yajna, this karma, which is equated to yajna, it is Ishvara Aradhana. And whatever comes as the result of the yajna, whatever comes as a result of the yajna, that becomes Ishvara Prasada. Therefore, here the yajna, the different yajnas, what are being talked about, it is not different from Karma Yoga, it's all same Karma Yoga only. Bhagavan Krishna mentions certain discipline, certain Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga, anything other than Jnanam is Karma only. Therefore, Karma Yoga has a huge scope. Karma Yoga has got a huge scope. There are only two yogas. One is Jnana Yoga, that is Sakshat Karanam. Other one is Karma Yoga. So anything other than the study of Shastram, study of Shastram for gaining Jnanam, study of Shastram, it's called Jnana Yoga. Anything other than that, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana is Jnana Yoga. Anything other than that, they all come under karma. Walking is a karma. Eating is a karma. Breathing is a karma. Seeing is a karma. Talking is a karma. So everything is a karma. And bringing the vision of Ishvara in everything, then the karma, the Lokika karma or even Vaidika karma, that becomes Ishvara karma. That becomes Karma Yoga. That Karma Yoga becomes the means for Chitta Shuddhi. Therefore, Chittasya Shuddhaye karma, karma kartavyam, Chitta Shuddhyartam. And different sadhanas are meant here, starting from the 25th shloka onwards. There are about 12 sadhananis, 12 or 13 sadhananis are talked about here. Devam eva pare yagyam yoginaha paripasate, which we saw. Some people, they worship devatas, different devatas, Shiva, Vishnu, Varuna, Indra, all the devatas, they go to the temple or they do physically puja, either in the temple or in the house, or they invoke the devata in the antakaranam and offer aradhana puja. Devam apare, Devam apare yagyam yoginaha paryupasate. Yoginaha referring to these people, all karma yogis. There is no bhakti yoga. Bhakti also comes under karma only. So, Devam yagyam, that Devam Deva yajna, the Devam yajnam eva paripasate apare, some people. Similarly, Brahmagnava pare yajnam yajnena eva upajugvati, yajnam yajnena eva upajugvati, yajnam yajnena atmanam atmana eva upajugvati, where they offer atma, that is jivatma, by oneself into that. What is that? Brahmagnav, that is Paramatma. Brahmagnau apare yajnam is equal to atmanam, yajnena atmana eva brahmagnau upajugvati, they offer. Agni is Agni Devata. So, Brahmagnau, Agni is Brahma, iva sampashyan, seeing Agni Devata as Brahma. If Agni Devata is Brahma, all the Devatas are Brahma. So, Jnanis, they perform this yajna. What is this yajna? The Samyak Brahma Darshanam. The Brahma, which is looked upon as the Agni. The Agni, here Brahma Agni is referring to Paramatma. The Agni Devata is Paramatma. So, Brahma now into the Paramatma, they offer oneself. They offer oneself into the Paramatma. Atmanam, Atmana. Here, Yajnam is equal to Atmanam. Atmanam, Atmana eva upajukvati. A jnani offers himself into the Agni, which is called Brahma, Brahmagni. Into the Agni, Brahmagni. Paramatma is figuratively presented as Agni. Into that Agni, Yajnam, that is Jivatmanam, offered. How you offer? Not physically. It is the oneness of the Jivatma and Paramatma. That is Sarvatra Brahma Darshan. Jivatma is not different from Paramatma. That Aikya Jnanam, Aikya Darshanam. That is the vision, what the Jnani enjoys. That is talked about here. The Jnani perform this Yajna. Some people perform Deva Yajna by propitiating different devatas. Jnanis, they perform this Yajna, this is called Jnana Yajna. This is called Jnana Yajna. The great of all the yajnas, this yajna, jnana yajna. So, and the shotradi in indriyan yanye, sayyamagnishu jugvati. We saw that shotradi in indriyani, sayyama, sayyamagnishu, some yogis, they offer the sense organs into sayyama, self-control or self-mastery. Sayyama means not allowing the sense organs to move away, wander. Not allowing the sense organs to wander here and there, keeping the sense organs under one's control. Indriyani paranyagahu. Indriyabhyah param manaha. Manasastu para buddhehe. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. Indriyani are compared to parani. Indriyani parani agahu. Indriyabhyah param manaha. Indriyas are greater. And compared to Indriya, mind is greater. First, let us start with the Indriya. The Parani Indriyani, Shotradini Indriyani. Why? Because this Indriya is like the horses. Therefore, physically withdrawing the Indriyas. Physically withdrawing the Indriya, that is called Dhamma. And here it is Sanyama. That Sanyama, the self-control, is looked upon as the Yajna, as a yoga, and that is called Sanyama Yoga, a type of Karma Yoga, all of Karma Yoga. Sanyama. Why Dhamma is talked about? Because Shama is the next level. At least at the level of Indriya. Indriyani Parani. Compared to Indriya, mind is greater. So, mastery over mind is the next level. If you have mastery over the mind, the sense organs will obey you. If you don't have mastery over the mind, at least, even though mind is greater than the sense organs, Indriyani Paranyahu, Indriyabhyah param manaha. But since mind is not under your control, at least you bring the sense organs forcefully make it obey you. So that how you do that? If you want to shut your eyes, shut it. That make the deliberately disciplining. Even though the mind wants to see, but you shut your eyes, Sayyama. Even though you don't want to hear certain things, but ears doesn't have any door. So go away from that place. Deliberately doing. You cannot wait for gaining the mastery over the mind. Beginning is with holding the sense organs. That is the first step. That is called self-denial, self-restraint. Once sense organs are mastered to some extent, then mind can be mastered. That is why mind comes next. So Dhamma and then Shama. Therefore, this self-denial or self-restraint, which is compared to Agni, Sanyama Agnishu, in that Agni, Sanyama Agni, Shrotradini Indriyani, Jukhvati, they offer. Some people, they offer. Offer means what? They Shama, they have Dhamma. They follow, they practice Dhamma. That is looked upon as an yajna. Practicing Dhamma is an yajna. Practicing Shama is an yajna. And some people, Shabdadin Vishayan, Anye is referring to other people. Indriyagnishu Jugvati, they offer to the Indriya Shabdadin Vishayan. They offer Indriya Vishaya into the Indriyani, into Indriya. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha Vishayaha, Vishayan, Indriyagnishu. Indriyas are compared to the Agni. In that Agni, they offer. How they offer? Without any control? No. They offer. Here we are talking about sadhana. Here we are talking about the sadhana to gain Brahma Darshanam. Therefore, offering sense objects into the sense organs, not out of control, keeping everything under your control. That is managing the sense objects. You allow the sense objects to flow into the sense organs with full control. Full control means you regulate the flow, regulating the flow of sense objects into the sense organs. Not allowing the eyes to see whatever it wants to see. You offer the Rupa Vishaya into the eyes. How? Regulated way. Similarly, you offer the Vishaya, Sparsha Vishaya to the skin, regulated way. Similarly, Rasa to the tongue. What you offer to the mouth, you regulate it. That is also a Sayyama. That is looked upon as Yajna, Indriyagnishu Jugvati. This is another sadhana. First one is completely restraining sense organs from moving towards sense objects. Second sadhana is allowing the sense organs to function in a regulated way, making the sense objects flow into the sense organs in a regulated way. That requires more mastery, more control. That is looked upon as an yajna. This is yajna. All these are finally meant for what? Meant for Brahma Darshanam. So, Indriyagnishu Shabdadin Vishayan Anye Jugvati. Jugvati means offer. It's a Vaidika word. Jugvati, offering. Here, Indriyas are looked upon as the Agni Kunda, where Agni is there. Into which you offer the Shabdadin Vishaya, which are the Havihi oblations. So offer in a regulated way. You don't offer all the oblations at one stretch. Take the name of each devata and offer the oblations in a regulated way. Similarly, offer into the Agni devata, and here Agni is Indriya. Indriyas are the Agni. And there are devatas associated with each Indriya. Shrotrasya Suryaha, Shrotrasya Dibdevata, Chakshushaha Suryaha, all the devatas, corresponding devatas are there. So what you offer into the Indriya is not just into the Indriya, you are offering that to the devata, corresponding devata. Corresponding devata is there at Samashti level. Surya is a devata for the eyes. So Rupa Vishaya are offered to the eyes. That is the devata which presides over the eyes. Who is that? Surya devata. Therefore, it is a yajna only. Therefore, it is a yajna only. That's why he said yajna need not be conducted only in a yagashala. For a mumukshu, all the activities, the karma, whatever the karma they perform, that can be converted into a yajna. Here, what yajna? Sanyama yajna, niyama yoga, karma yoga. That becomes a sadhana. So that the person has Shama and Dhamma. When the sense organs, when they are offered, when the sense Vishayas are offered into sense organs, then that Vishaya, what you offer, the Vishaya, if it is offered in keeping with Dharma, then that becomes a means for moksha indirectly. How? By making the sense organs, indriyani, the mind, manas, and the buddhi becomes fit for gaining jnanam and therefore moksha. Therefore, only it is Sanyamagni, Sanyama Yajnan, otherwise called Karma Yoga. Niyama Yoga, Karma Yoga, Sanyama Yoga, all are same. Therefore, the highlight is Shama. Shama is important. Shama, Dhamma, Iti. You have seen in the second chapter, Satapragya Lakshana, Yada Samharate Chayam, Kurmonganiva Sarvashaha, Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha, Tasya Prajna Pratishtita, Kurmaha, the tortoise, how it withdraws his anga when he senses the danger. Similarly, the person should be able to completely withdraw the sense organs from the sense objects. The one who can do that person's knowledge is stita. Iti visa. What is that? That is this same thing. Shabdadin Vishayan inge, Shotradin Indriyan inge, Sayyamagnishu, the same thing. That which is natural for a jnani, for a Siddha Prajna, that which is sadhya for Siddha Prajna becomes sadhana for the sadhakas. Since here karma yogis are sadhakas, they do sadhana, they take up different sadhana. Therefore only shamadama, which are natural for a jnani, it becomes the sadhana for the karma yogis. Sadhanani. Why it is highlighted? Why it is important? If shamadama it is not there, then Shastra Shravanam cannot happen. You cannot even listen to Shastram even for 5 minutes. The mind will be carried over by the pressure for the longing for the sense vishayas, and also the mind also restless. So therefore, no knowledge can take place. Then the mind has to be relatively quiet, not absolutely. Absolute quiet is not possible. The mind has to be relatively free from worries, relatively free from anxiety, relatively free from any sorts of the problem, mind as well as the body. So therefore, those which are helpful, those which are conducive in making the mind, body, and sense organs fit for the fit for the reception of jnanam, they are the sadhana. And in the jnani, it is seen naturally. So what is sadhya in jnani becomes a sadhana for the sadhakas. The mind has to be relatively quiet. It is there in Chitta Prajna. And that is that quietude, relative quietude has to be achieved by the karma yogis. So what is to be done for that? That is what is Bhagavan Krishna says here. Different sadhanas he prescribes. Only by the mind which has gained prasadam, the shanti, only by that mind alone, jnanam is possible. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu Vishayan Indriyaischaran Atmavashi Vidheyatma Prasadam Adhigachati. Again, this we have seen in Sata Prajna Lakshana. The Indriyas experiencing the world of objects, sense objects. Indriyas moving around the sense of objects, doing whatever to be done. And refraining from that should not be done. For whom? For the person who is Videyatma, who is a self-controlled person, who has got mastery over sense organs. The Shami, that person will gain Prasada Buddhi, Prasadam Adhigachati. That Prasada is required. That Atma Prasada, Manas Prasada is required for Jnanam, for Shastra Shravanam. Therefore, it is all prescribed. as sadhanani, different sadhanani. Therefore, here Indriya Sanyama Yajna, that is talked about. Then the next one, Sarvani Indriya Karmani. Sarvani Indriya Karmani, Jnanendriyani, Karmendriyani, then Prana Karmani. Prana as well as Karma. Prana Karmani can refer to this Pancha Pranaha. Apare Atma Sanyama Yogagno Jugvati. Atma Sanyama Yogagno. Other people, on the other hand, Sarvani Indriyani, Karma, Sarvani Indriyani, all the Indriyas, all the Indriyas and Prana Karmani cha, Atma Sanyama Yogagno, Atma Sanyama Yoga, Atma Sanyama Yoga here referring to, that is, Sanyama means regulation, control. Atma Sanyama Yoga referring to the mind, which is committed in focusing on Atma. That is what is called Dhyanam. Atma Sanyama Yoga now means it is called Dhyanam. In the Ashtanga Yoga, in Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi are talked about. These three things are together called Sanyama. So Sanyama is a technical word. So it is Sanyama referring to Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So in the Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, that is referred to Sanyama, some people offer Sarvani Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani, Sarvani Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani, that is in meditation. In meditation, people, they offer Sarvani Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani. They specify all the Indriyas, all the Prana. Indriyani referring to Jnanendriyani, Karmendriyani. Prana referring to the Pancha Prana. So they offer that into Atma Sanyama Yoga. That is the Agni. That is the Yajna Karma. Into that Atma Sanyama Agni, in the fire of Atma Sanyama, that Atma Sanyama, which is in the form of Ishvara Dhyanam, which is in the form of the meditation, in there they offer all the Indriyas. They empty all their Indriyas, all the actions of the Karmendriya, all the Jnanendriyas, all the physiological functions of the Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana, everything they offer into that. This is what we chanted in the Dhyana Shloka, Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha Pashyanti. Manasa Pashyanti. They see through the mind. What is the mind? Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa. Dhyana, meditation. Dhyana Yoga. That is called here Atma Sanyama Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. There is a separate chapter devoted to Dhyana Yoga. Dhyanam is meant for the Shama. Dhyanam is meant for Shama of the mind. Why Dhyanam is done? What is meditation? In fact, the most confusing word, meditation. Nobody can really meditate. Meditation happens. Vedantic meditation is different. All other meditations are meant for making the mind calm, tranquil. And that is what is referred to by the word Sanyama in the Ashtanga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana, making the mind fix on a thing and retaining that for a certain period of time, that it becomes Dhyana. And that when the mind becomes one with the object, when you lose yourself in that, then that becomes Samadhi. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So that object alone is present. Savikalpa Samadhi. When that object also goes away, then it becomes Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So these are the sadhana meant for making the mind tranquil or making the mind the controlling the mind. That's called Dhyana Yoga. How can you control the mind? As Arjuna asked, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadridam. The sixth chapter, Arjuna asked, mind has to be slowly mastered by engaging them in meditation, making the mind, making the mind follow you. For that, this sadhanam is prescribed. Atma Sanyama Yoga now. So again, this is a sadhanam for the karma yogi. That which is sadhya, jnanis have this naturally with Atma Sanyama. For them, the mind is fixed in Brahma, that becomes natural, that this karma yogi has to emulate, has to imitate. Therefore, jnana deepite. Jnana deepite, jnanam is compared to the deepa, knowledge. Jnana deepa is light of knowledge. In the Atma Sanyama yoga, which is compared to the Agni, in the light of the knowledge, by the shining light of the lamp of knowledge, and that is compared to, that is Atma Sanyama yoga, and that is Agni. In that Agni, which is Jnana Deepite Agnau, Sarvani Indriyani Karmani, they withdraw all the, offering all the sense organs into that. It means withdrawal of sense organs, both Jnani Indriya and Karmendriya, as well as all the prana. They withdraw from going outwards. They remain seated and in meditation. And jnanis, they meditate on Brahma with their eyes open, with their eyes closed, because they see everywhere Brahma. Whereas this person, for gaining mastery over the mind, mastery over the sense organs, they perform this Atma Sanyama Yoga. Atma Sanyama Yoga iti. So Atma Sanyama Yoga. Atma Sanyama Yoga now Jnana Deepite. Both are in Saptami Vibhakti. So Atma Sanyama Yoga is the Agni, which is the Yajna Karma. In that Jnana Deepite Agni, they offer all the Indriyas. All the Indriya, all the Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, Prana, etc. So some people are committed to meditation, and as they understand, they therefore suspending all the functions of the Indriyas, they do Dhyanam. In that Atma Sanyama Yoga. This function of the Indriyas are offered. So that Atma Sanyama Yoga, the meditation is compared to the Agni. In that Agni, the withdrawal of sense organs are offered in the form of Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. People offer Indriyani, Karmendriyani, Apare iti. And this Agni is kindled by Viveka, Jnana Deepite. So, Jnana Deepite Agnau. In the Agni, which is kindled by Viveka. Viveka is therefore only they resort to Atma Sanyama. If Viveka is not there, then the Indriya will run all over. Because they are Viveka, here Jnana Deepite referring to Viveka. Viveka Buddhi of the person. Viveka Buddhi, and Viveka Buddhi is manifest in the form of Atma Sanyama, and that is compared to Agni. Therefore, Jnana Deepite Atma Sanyama Yoga now Jukhvati. Apare, some people. That is another sadhana talked about in the 27th shloka, then 28th shloka. Here, 5 yajnas are talked about. Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, swadhyaya yajna, jnana yajna iti. But the words here in the shloka referring to the person, all are Bhagavad Samasa. Dravya yajnaha, dravya yajnaha, dravya yajnaha. Dravya yajna is, dravya means substance. Dravya means wealth. Substance, wealth, objects, things, these are the dravya. So, they Dravya Yajnaha referring to the people who perform the Dravya Yajna, offering of a Dravya. Dravyam Yajnaha Yesham Te Dravya Yajnaha. So, Dravya Yajnaha referring to the people who perform Dravya Yajna. Dravya Yajna means like in Kathopanishad, Rajashravas performed the Vishwadit Yajna, in which he shared all the wealth, Dravya Yajna. He gave up all his wealth, Dravya Yajna, sharing the wealth, what are the or whatever the properties, with the attitude of Yajna. So those who perform this dana, the giving of the wealth, etc., with the attitude of Yajna, they are referred to by the word Dravya Yajna. So therefore, Danam is highlighted. Danam, that giving, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adheyam, Danam is talked about. So Danam is highlighted. By Danam, you gain Punyam. By Danam, one gains Punyam. The Punyam is required. So Danam is talked about here. Otherwise called Dana Yajna, Dravya Yajna. Then Tapo Yajna. Again here Tapo Yajna is Tapaha Yajnaha Yeshante Tapo Yajnaha, referring to the people who perform tapas. So people who perform tapas with the attitude of Yajna, with the reverential attitude, Yajna. What is tapas? Tapas is willful denial of things. That's called tapas. Tapas is willful denial. The tapas is, there's a definition for tapas as given by the Tikakara. Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Shutpipasadi Dvandva Saganam Tapaha. Shita Ushna, the pairs of opposites. Shita Ushna Sukha Dukkha Shutpipasa, hunger as well as thirst. Adi Dvandva Saganam, Sagishnutvam, that is called Tapaha. So Tapo Yajna, that's why it is translated as self-denial. Upavasa, etc., tapas. Not having any luxury, submitting oneself to the whatever comes in the way. That is called tapas. Yatra is a tapas. Yatra is a tapas. You are ready to undergo any sort of afflictions, problems to the body, tapas. So therefore, apare, some people, samshita vrataha, samshita vrata. Samshitam means nishchitam. Samshita vrataha, nitantam tikshnam, atidridam. People who are very firm and stable. Who are those people? Yatayaha, yatnashilaha, yatayaha. They perform these types of yajnas, 5 yajnas, dravya yajnaha. Then the next one is tapo yajnaha. Dravya yajnaha, as I said, dravyam means dhanam. Dhanam, that is given in the form of a dhanam. So dhanam yajnaha yeshamte. It is for material prosperity as well as for spiritual prosperity. Dhanam can be done for both. It can be for Abhyudaya as well as Nishraya. Why Nishraya? Because Dhanam gives Punyam. The Punyam can be capitalized for Jnana in that way. So Dana Yajna, then Dravya Yajna, that is called Dravya Yajna, then Tapo Yajnaha, then Yoga Yajnaha. Again here Yoga Yajna referring to the people who perform the Yajna called Yoga. That is, they practice Ashtanga Yoga. Starting from Yama, Niyama, Sanyama, Pranayama, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, that Ashtanga Yoga, they perform, they practice, that is called Yoga Yajna. Yogaha, Yajnaha, Yeshamte, Yoga Yajnaha. Therefore, Ashtanga Yoga also is a sadhana, it's a discipline. Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga that is also we accept as sadhana. That also we look upon as karma yoga only. It is not the sadhanam for direct sadhanam for moksha. It is a sadhanam for self mastery. It is chitta shuddhi. Plays the role as karma yoga. So that here yoga referring to Ashtanga yoga. Yoga yajna is Ashtanga yoga. You will see in the Bhashyam what Bhashyakara says later. But here it is referring to yoga yajna, referring to atra yoga aneka vida shilpa gocharaha prayatna Ashtanga yoga yajnasya pranayama purvakataya pranayama yajnena eva antargatatvat. So that Ashtanga yoga involves pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, pranayama and all. It's for self mastery. So therefore, it is meant for self mastery. Starting from controlling the breath to controlling the mind. Breath and the mind as connection. Controlling regulating the breath is regulating the mind. Mastery over the breath is mastery over the mind. As the breath, so your mind. When the mind is disturbed, the breathing is getting disturbed. When the breathing is regulated, the mind also regulated. Therefore, it is all sadhana, sadhanani. Then swadhyaya yajna. Swadhyaya means study. Ritam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha. Swadhyaya yajna. That is learning Veda. Both Veda Purva and Vedanta. Chanting, etc. All these are learning. Shravanam as well as repeating them. Ratanam. That is called swadhyaya. Shravanam, even if you are not able to chant, mere Shravanam itself gives punyam. And chanting also. Chanting with Nishkama Sankalpa. Nishkama Sankalpa is moksha as a Sankalpa. Chanting the Suktam, chanting the Veda. Chanting Veda gives punyam. That punyam can be encashed for the pursuit of jnana. If you do the same chanting with some sankalpa, dharma, artha, kama, sankalpa, that will give abhyudaya, material prosperity. If the same thing is done for nishrayasa, then it will lead you to jnana yoga. Therefore, like the Sandhya Vandanadi karma, if you are mumukshu, you are committed in gaining moksha, then Sandhya Vandanadi karma will provide conducive situation to follow jnanam, to follow jnana yoga. Therefore, even though Sandhya Vandanadi karma, Agnihotradi karma, you are not interested in gaining the result what it gives, what the limited result it gives, because you are a mumukshu, the same karma, because your sankalpa is different, then that karma will make your journey conducive for jnanam. That is why the sankalpa is important. For what purpose you are doing the karma? What purpose you are doing the karma? That's why invariably we say Ishvara Prityartham. Ishvara Priti. Ishvara will be really satisfied if you opt for moksha. So Ishvara, when Ishvara will be pleased? When you choose himself, then only he will be pleased. You are choosing other than Ishvara, not that Ishvara will be displeased. Ishvara will grant you whatever you choose. If you choose other than him, that also he will give. If you choose him, then he will be more happy. He will give you that. He will give you that means how? In the form of the Guru, Prasadanam, Shastra Shravanam, iti. That is called Swadhyaya Yajna. Yes, Swadhyaya Yajna means here Swadhyaya referring to learning to recite the Veda, at least one's own shaka. If not one's whole Veda, at least one's shaka, one should be able to learn and recite properly with Shraddha and Bhakti. That's called Swadhyaya Yajna. All these have a place. All these have a place in as a sadhanam. So chanting, as Bhagavan Krishna himself says, chanting is a sadhanam. And really, this chanting, so for example, Meda Suktam, 108 times on Saraswati Puja day, or Durga Suktam, for removing all the obstacles which may come or which comes in our pursuit of jnana, Durga Suktam, or any shloka, Vishnu Sahasranama shloka, or any other shloka. All these will come under Swadhyaya. All these form the daily routine of a karma yogi. Therefore, Swadhyaya Yajna. Yajnaha. Swadhyaya Yajnaha referring to the people. Swadhyaya Yajnaha, the Bhagavad Samasa. Swadhyayasya Swadhyayaha eva Yajnaha Yashamte. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is Jnana. Swadhyayasya Jnanam Swadhyaya Jnanam. The knowledge of the Swadhyaya. Then Swadhyayasya Jnanam Swadhyaya Jnanam Swadhyaya Jnanam eva Yajnaha. Swadhyaya Jnanam eva Yajnaha Yashamte Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnaha, referring to the people who perform this Swadhyaya Yajna. And it is Jnana Yajna. It is Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, referring to the people who are totally dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnaha. Yatayaha is Yatna Shilaha. Yatayaha, the word Yatayaha itself derived from the dhatu, Yam dhatu. Yam Uparame, restrained. The one Uparame is restraining. Yatayaha is they are the Yati. Yati means sannyasi, that is one meaning. Yatna Shilaha is another meaning. Yatna Shilaha is they put forth effort. Hard workers. Yatna Shilaha. Yatna Shilaha, Yatayaha, Yatihi. Yam plus tin pratyaya, Yatayaha, Yatihi. Rudi Artha is sannyasi, and Yatayaha is referring to karma yogis. Those who perform all these sadhana, they are referred to by the word Yatayaha. And they perform this sadhana with a firm resolve. Samshita Vrataha, Drida Nishchayaha Ityartaha. Samshita Vrataha, Yatayaha, they perform these types of yajna. All these are yajna. Different types of karma, different types of yajna, they perform. Performed by the committed, the people. Commitment is what is referred to by the word Samshita Vrataha. So, a karma yogi, if he starts his day from the morning doing puja, then chanting, then then the whole day is 24 hours is not enough. Every karma is yajna karma. So all falls under this sadhana. So Swadhyaya Jnana Yajnasya Yatayaha Samshita Vrataha. Then comes one more yajna here it is talked about, which is Pranayama Yajna. Prana means prana referring to prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, that 5 physiological functions. That is one thing, that is different. Here prana as such referring to the breath. Apane jugvati pranam, prane apanam tatha pare. Here prana referring to the breath. Prana and apana. Only 2 things are used. What is prana? What is prana? Prana is exhalation. Apana is inhalation. So breathing. Breathing involves inhaling, exhaling. No time we stop breathing. We breathe even when we sleep. If we don't breathe, then it is death. So breathing is there. Inhalation, exhalation. That also looked upon as an yajna. That also looked upon as yajna. Breathing involves 3 things. One is inhalation, other one is exhalation, and there is something in between. No inhalation, no exhalation. That is called kumbhaka. Puraka, rechaka, kumbhaka. Those who do hatha yoga, they know all this. The words purakam, puraka, kumbhaka, rechaka. Puraka is inhalation. Kumbhaka is retaining the breath. retaining, not inhaling, not exhaling. And that also kumbhaka of two types. Antar kumbhaka, bhagir kumbhaka. Rechaka is exhalation. So puraka inhalation, rechaka exhalation. Kumbhaka is no inhalation, no exhalation. Suppose if you inhale puraka, then you retain the breath inside. That is antar kumbhaka. Then you exhale. That is rechaka. When you exhale, again you can do kumbhaka. You don't allow breathe. You don't allow the. You don't breathe. That is no inhalation. That is bhagir kumbhaka. So kumbhaka can be antar kumbhaka or bhagir kumbhaka. So this is called pranayama. Pranayama involves puraka, kumbhaka, rechaka. Either puraka, kumbhaka, rechaka, or rechaka, kumbhaka, puraka. Anyway, it can be because kumbhaka can be antar kumbhaka, bhagir kumbhaka. So people who are committed to this practice of pranayama is an important sadhanam which is meant for the tranquility of the mind. In Sandhya Vandanam, it is there 3 times, every time, 10 times one has to do. If one has done from the day Sandhya Vandanam, the sacred thread is invested, by the time he is 50 or 60, you would have got mastery over this prana. Kanchi Brahmacharya says this, if one has literally, really, committedly, if he has practiced this, then he should be able to gain that siddhi, mastery over the mind. And in Ashtanga Yoga, the ratio is given 1:4:2. If Puraka, if inhalation is done for 1 unit of time, then Kumbhaka should be done for 4 units of time. And Rechaka for 2 units of time. That is highest ratio, 1:4:2. It's not easy. First, we have to start with 1:2:1. Slowly, we have to increase. In fact, first without Kumbhaka, then later Kumbhaka, then Antar Kumbhaka, then Bhagir Kumbhaka. Iti Pranayama, it is an important anga of the Ashtanga Yoga. So here, the prana, the exhalation, is offered into the apana. Apana is looked upon as Agni. Agni, into that, Agni Kunda, where Agni is there, into that prana is offered. Similarly, prana is looked upon as the Agni, into which apana is offered. It means some people, they practice pranayama. Pranapana gati rudva. Pranapana gati rudva, that is kumbhaka, having restrained the movement of prana apana gati. Pranapana gati, it is dvivachanam. Prana gati, apana gati. Pranapana gati, the movement of the prana and apana, pranapana gati. It is 2 things are there. Pranagati, apanagati. Therefore, it is Pratama Vibhakti Dvivacham. That is referring to Kumbhaka. Rudva, prana having restrained, mastered this Kumbhaka. Pranayama Parayana, they are committed to this Pranayama Parayana. Parayana referring to the people. Pranayamaha Parayanam Yashante. Those who are committed to the practice of the Pranayama, which is a discipline meant for mastery over prana. Prana directly, indirectly, it is mind, because prana and mind are connected. Therefore, pranayama parayanaha, referring to the people, they perform pranayama yajna. The pranayama yajna itself is looked upon as 2 yajnas, in which into the apana prana is offered, and into the prana apanam is offered. When you exhale, the exhaling prana is offered to the inhaling prana, and when you inhale, the exhaling prana is offered to the inhaling prana. Iti pranayama. And pranayama, that in between kumbhaka also it is there, that is prana pana gati rudva, having mastered the Kumbhaka, some people, they are engaged in practicing the pranayama, which is an important anga of Ashtanga Yoga sadhana. Iti, this pranayama yajna is prescribed. This also is an yajna. The word Jugvati is there. Where the word Jugvati is there, yajna is implied. Where the word yajna is there, karma is implied. Therefore, all the yajnas are karma, all the karmas are yajna. When a karma is looked upon as a yajna, the word yajna itself derived from the dhatu, yajudhatu. Yajudhatu is yajane, worship, pujane. That becomes a puja, that becomes a Ishvara Aradhana. So pranayama is also Aradhana of Ishvara only. It is not just meant only for controlling the breath. Mastery over the mind also meant for gaining Ishvara Jnanam, Ishvara Prapti. Mastery over mind, it may be have other benefits. Laukika benefits will be there, but ultimate benefit is Ishvara Prapti. Therefore, in and through all the sadhana, Ishvara is present. And all the sadhanas meant for gaining Ishvara, not directly. Paramparaya karanam bhavati. Therefore, different sadhanas are here talked about. Then the next sadhana is there, which is ahara niyama yoga, niyama yajna. Regulation of offering of annam, the food into the body, into the stomach. That is another niyama, that niyata ahara, self-restraining, not carried over by the taste of the food. The tongue has a natural inclination for the taste. So having mastery over that. This also comes under Dhamma. Another type of yajna, which is talked about next shloka, that we will see. 30th shloka we will see in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunbanti Divyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangavadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastidadgadena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಜ್ಜಿ.